Hi guys, if you are one of the proud owners of the 42009 Mobile Crane Mark II, you may have noticed that despite having a wonderful set in your hands, it's kind of a slow set. All of the moving functions move a little bit too slow, and that's mainly because they had to demultiply the force a lot because they used a motor that is too small for the size of the set. This is the guy to blame. It's a L motor and they probably should have used an XL motor. Anyway, the best way of correcting this problem is to swap the order of these two gears when you are building this module, okay? So if you check the instructions, you will see that they ask you to put the small gear underneath and the big gear on top. If you do the exact opposite and put the big gear underneath and the small gear on top, you are actually going to speed up your model by a factor of 3. Now, of course, there's a trade-off. You're in this case gaining speed, but you are losing torque, which means that in general your model won't be able to lift as much weight, but it's going to move much faster. And I can demonstrate this by showing you how the outriggers move, for example. Sorry, I need to engage this first. There we go. So if you have the original model in your hands, you will see that there's a massive improvement in speed just from that change alone. Apart from that, I made a couple of other modifications. They are all very simple. One of them is here in the winch. I replaced the original gears by a big gear driving the small gear, which is going to speed up the winch by a very big factor, another factor of 3 actually. So it's actually going to be 6 times faster than the original one. And I did the same for the outriggers. So these parts of the outriggers were actually really slow. And what I did to speed them up was just replace the 2 gears of the same size that were here by a big gear driving a smaller gear. I did the same in the back, where we had actually in the front, where we had 2 gears of the same size, and now we have a big gear driving a small gear. And one of the consequences of doing this in the back outrigger is that the big gear actually protrudes a little bit. And because of that, I needed to change these beams, these here, and also this one here at the front, because otherwise they would hit the protruding gear while the turntable rotates. Now, I moved them a little bit backwards in order to let the turntable slide without hitting that. And now we can see everything moving and see how these changes affected the overall speed of the model. So you can start, for example, with the winch. Why not? Just to see how fast it drops. So compared to the original model, you can see there's a big difference. Now for different function. Testing this going down. Yet another function. We're going to... Okay, and as you can see, everything is pretty much faster. So I hope you enjoyed the video and have fun!